is a restorative practice. So the bolster or the blankets or whatever you have rolled up, have that handy. Have your extra blankets, and if you're lucky enough to have blocks, or if you've books equally of this size, can be helpful as well. So if you need to gather a few things, go ahead, grab them, and then we'll come back and we'll start the practice. So I hope everybody is keeping well and staying safe and staying somewhat sane. Beautiful day here in Dublin, so it's nice to get a little bit of sunshine because I know the rain's on the way. So yeah, anyway, here we are, another week, another lockdown. Okay, so let's begin the practice. So again, as I said before, the most important part of our restorative practice is that you listen to yourself. So I'm going to guide you through different poses and different postures with the assistance of all these blocks and aids. If at any point any of this does not feel comfortable, then you back up, you don't do it. You allow yourself to get into a more comfortable position that's right for you. Okay, I'll give you a few different options of ways to carry yourself and to lean into the poses. But the idea with restorative is that we feel entirely relaxed and that our body can melt into the support of the blocks, the cushions, the pillows. And when we melt into the support of it, the muscles start to soften and the fascia break down. That's the parts that kind of lock the muscles together. So when they break down, it kind of all releases and we let go of the muscles, we let go of the tension. And as that happens in our physical body, it sends signals to our amygdala, our brain, that it's okay, we can calm down. So that kicks off the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of our nervous system that brings us back into balance when we've had our fright, flight or free sensation of that, rigid scare or the fright or whatever's happening, anxiety attacks, whatever's going on for us. Okay, so let's begin the practice as always in a comfortable seat. Spine is nice and tall, palms, let's start facing down, closing your eyes and just allow yourself to turn inwards. So we've had our day. For most of us we've been in, for some of us perhaps we've been working. I know some of you maybe having to go to hospitals or working in shops or wherever you are. Just be aware of how your mind is after the day that has been. And again, just accepting it, that's the reality in this moment and that can be changed. And then allow yourself to feel the energy your body has. Are you low energy or you're high energy? Are you very connected to your body? Can you feel the energy pulsate, or is that a little bit too far-fetched? Noticing today how you feel. So how do I feel? Numb, fine, happy, pleased, anxious, stressed, joyful. And then allow yourself to take a moment to think of a moment during your day where you felt connected, whether it was looking at a beautiful tree or the sea or a plant or something outside of ourselves, something that we can feel connected to in nature. The sun, the sky, whatever it was for you. Maybe it's that connection with God. And then allow ourselves to settle into our physical body. So starting at our shins, our thighs, our hips. So as we bring the mind into the lower part, as we bring the mind down, it helps to anchor us, to ground us. Allow yourself to notice the rhythm of your breathing in your body. Your belly, your lungs, your shoulders. And again, if your mind has already wandered off, that's okay, just draw it back, keep coming back. And as you scan your body, your face, relax your jaw, the eyes, notice if you're holding tension in your shoulders, your hips. And then settling into this physical body of yourself. Being aware of what you've got to work with tonight. Take a moment to place an intention on tonight's practice. So for you, what is it you'd like a little bit more of in your life? And remembering to put it in a positive present tense sentence, as if it's already happening, a short sentence. I am loving and accepting myself. I am handling and dealing with stress easily. I am joyful and laughing lots. And just plant that as your intention for the practice. Take a long deep breath in. And as you exhale, drop your chin into your chest. Slowly open the eyes and lift the head and neck. Okay, so for our first practice, we're going to get our blankets or our bolster, whatever version. So again, like I said, really good to wrap up a couple of bath mats. And you're going to put that down lengthways on your mat, and you're going to bring your bum close to it. Now, if you have a lot of back issues, if it's a bit tight, you can push it away from your bum. And if you don't have any problems, then you bring it close to your bum. Okay, you have your blanket handy. We might need this for our head. You're going to bring the soles of your feet to touch, and you're going to let your knees open. Now again, you can have a blanket, or you can pop a block underneath your knees just to give your hips a little bit of support. You can bring it lower if that feels right, or you don't need it maybe at all. So from here, hands down by your side, you're just going to, with your bum close to your support, your pillow, gently let your head and neck come back. Okay, so you're going to feel this opening through the chest. Then you can get your pillow and you can pop it underneath your head, underneath your neck, or your blanket, and just let your hands rest by your side. Now that might feel like it's too vast an opening for your chest. You can rest your hands on your heart and your belly, or you can rest both hands on your belly. But it's really nice, if you can, to let the shoulders open by softening the arms down. And then just let yourself settle in. So take a few moments to make this as comfortable for you as possible. Unfortunately, I would love to be with you to make sure you're really snug, but I can't. So just going to have to do it as best you can. And again, you might find one side's a little bit tighter. You might need to move over, adjust your hips. If this is too much for your hips, you can just have your knees, your feet on the ground and your knees bent with your knees facing upwards. Okay, so this could be a perfectly good version of it. Wherever you are, try to make it as comfortable as is possible. And when you're ready, just let yourself settle. So we're going to stay here for 3 to 5 minutes, and the idea being we just let everything go. And in the letting go, we let that chest open. So this is a posture we're going to do for our lungs. We're going to work with a few lung poses today, but this is a particularly good one. It relaxes the shoulders back, and you can see as the rib cage is opening, there's more space for our breath. Our back is pressed against the bolster, so it's kind of giving a good sturdy base for our organs and the back of the ribs, where you can feel the back of the lungs connected with the back of the ribs. So it is a really good one for us, especially now with all these respiratory connections with COVID-19. It's a really good one to start to see if we can settle into. And again, it doesn't have to be as high as this, it can be a bit lower. You can also use a roll-up yoga mat. And as you settle yourself in, be aware of your breathing in your lungs. Feel the rise and fall of your rib cage. So can you observe yourself in letting go? it possible for you to let go? Right now, right here, there's nowhere else for you to be except present with yourself. Your eyes are closed if that's comfortable. And your focus is on the movement of your breath around your lungs. A really good pose for Anahata chakra, the chakra of kindness and love and forgiveness. So really feel the support of the earth, of your support, as you melt a little bit more. So trying to see if you can stay here as comfortable as possible without adjusting, but please, at any point, if it gets too much, make your adjustments. You can bring your feet on the ground, bring your knees up. You can come just to sit, keeping the legs in Baddha Konasana. Whatever you need to do, just trying to find a place or a position that's comfortable for you, and then settle. The longer we allow our bodies to release into the pose, the deeper we'll get and the more the muscles will open. And as you settle here, I'd like you to bring your attention to that moment today where you felt that connection with something in nature, connection with the sun on your face, whatever it is for you, a moment of joy, whatever it is, and just try to see, can you remember that sensation and feel it in every cell in your body. Very difficult to get your mind to quieten when we start our restorative practice. So when you remember that moment, bring it back to your heart and feel it in your body. Try not to run off on the story of where you went after that or what you did, or just try and keep it in that moment and stay connected with your breath. Each time your mind takes you away, just come back to here, to your body now, to how you feel. And then notice if your body's releasing a little bit, maybe through a shoulder, through your side waist. And then very softly, you're going to bend your knees and plant your feet, lifting your knees up. And again, just adjusting and staying here for a moment, and notice how the hips feel. Feel the mat underneath your feet. just moving your hands, turning your palms to face down. Take a long, deep breath in, keeping the eyes closed if you can, just rolling over to your right side and using your left hand to just gently bring you up to sit. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, so coming into the next pose. So for this one, we're going to just be getting into a little comfortable twist. So you're going to bend your knees, stack them on top of each other at an angle away from your body. You're going to keep your bolster where it is, but have it resting against your hip and your upper thigh. Bring your hands either side of the bolster. So again, it depends on how deep you want this. You might need to pop it up and get a little bit higher here with the second blanket. Okay, just feeling into your body, notice it. It also, for your knees, it might be comfortable to pop your book or your block in between your knees. Gives a little bit more support for the hips. Bring your hands down by your side. You can inhale. You're going to look so that the body is in line with the bolster, but you're feeling a twist. And as you exhale, you're going to settle down and you're going to look in the opposite direction of your knees. So whichever side you're on, look in the opposite direction. And again, another option you can do is just make a pillow with the blanket. But don't make it too high. You want to make sure you have the connection of your lungs, your chest on the bolster. And then when you're ready, you're just going to settle down and release. So a very soft twist. Make sure again you really are rotating everything around and then settling down. And again, really easy here to observe your breathing. Feeling your belly and the bottom of the bolster. And as you settle here, when you breathe in, take a long deep breath in as much as you possibly can. And then as you exhale, just gently release 1/3 and then stop. Release 2/3 and then stop. And then release all the air out. Big deep breath in. Exhale 1/3. Stop. Exhale 2/3. Stop. Exhale all the air out. Take a deep breath in. And again, exhaling 1/3. Pause. Exhale 2/3. Pause. Exhale completely. And then just continuing on at your own pace. So if this gets too much for your neck, by all means turn your neck to face the same direction as your knees to get the length of the twist. And just keep it moving all the way over to the opposite side. So really good to massage the organs of digestion, elimination, reproduction. Feeling the firmness of the bolster under your body. Inhaling. Exhaling 1/3. Pause. Exhaling 2/3. Exhaling all the air out. Every time you notice the mind going off on a thought, just bring it back here. You've got this hour just for you. Your time. Stay with it. when you're ready, just lifting your head, let go of the breath and just turn your head in the same direction as your knees. Maybe melt a little deeper into your support. Then gently using your hands to bring yourself up. You're just going to change sides. So again, just, you can leave the bolster where it is if you wish. Just flip your hips around. Again, bringing your knees at that 90-degree angle. Pop your block in between. Get your pillow or your blanket just for your neck, but not too high. Hands either side. So remembering, we're starting by just doing that twist. And again, this side could feel different. You're trying to get your navel in line with that bottom support. And then exhale, coming down. And remember, if you can, gaze over the opposite shoulder. And then relax your arms. And again, notice how you're breathing here. This time we change up the breath. You're going to inhale 3 times. I'm going to do one long exhale. So when you're ready, do a long exhale. And then this time, inhale 1/3. Inhale 2/3. Inhale completely. And then a long exhale. Inhale 1/3. Inhale 2/3. Inhale, fill the lungs. And exhale completely. Inhale 1/3. 2/3 inhale. Fill the lungs completely. And exhale. And just remembering, doing this at your own pace. And again, remember, if the twist is too much, come out, just feel into your body. Turning the head if it's too much pressure on the neck. Really try to work at letting it all go. And then when you're ready, using your hands, just lift up and move your head in the same direction as your knees. Let go of your breathing and just settle here. Then using your hands, slowly bringing yourself up and just being aware of where we are now in this moment. So for the next pose, you're just going to bring your bolster down. You're going to come lying down on your back, okay? So we're going to come into supported bridge pose. So for this, you'll either need a blanket under your head, or for some of us, flat on the ground. For some of us, you might need a higher book, okay? So really just have these all handy before you bring yourself up. And then you're going to put, either you can pop your book, or two books if you have them, or if you have your bolster shape, underneath your bum. So you're going to feel it on the sit bones. So make sure it's your sit bones are on the ground, so there's this arch in the back. Roll the shoulders under. Now tilt the pelvis up as you release yourself down so that you're supporting the back. And again, head on the ground. If it's too much, pop that book under your head, or you could use a blanket, okay? So wherever you are, and you're going to bring your hands down by your side. So in this pose, your heart is higher than your head. So it's a really good flushing of the system. Takes a little bit of pressure off the heart. Again, you're opening the heart. And you're changing the direction of the flow. And as you can probably feel, it's also a really good pose for your lower back. So just allow yourself to surrender here. So again, make it comfortable, adjust your shoulders, feel your feet firmly on the ground. And if you want to widen your legs a little bit, if you have them as wide as your mat, that gives you a little bit more support for your pelvis, your hips. And again, if it feels better to have them closer, go for that. And allow yourself to settle. And really try and allow yourself to be present in this. So as you breathe in, breathe out, count one breath. Breathe in, breathe out, count two breaths. Breathe in, breathe out, count three, so on and so forth. Keep going until a thought enters your head. And when a thought comes in or pops into your head, then you go back and you start again at one. And just really good to notice how far we can get before the mind wanders. And again, that's what the brain has evolved to do, to think. So always being kind. You might find you can't get past one. You might be able to reach four. But each time a thought pops in, start again from the beginning. And as you focus on your breathing and being present, let your body just let go. Staying with the breath, keeping yourself present, and releasing that nervous system. taking another long deep breath in. And exhale. Let go of the meditation. Let go of the focus on your breath. And then as you scan over your body, can you notice it softening? Perhaps around the upper arms, the shoulders. Maybe it's softening around the hips, the back. Bring your feet a little bit closer in towards your bum. When you're ready, softly lift your hips up and just move your blankets, your towels, your bolster out to one side and just stay for a moment here. Just let your back come back to neutral. Just feeling into your body. And when you're ready, rolling to your right and coming back up. Okay, so for this one, we're going to have our bolster again width of the mat from side to side. And you're going to bring it, so we're going to work again on the lungs. So you're going to bring it just kind of where the bottom of your ribs are and your hip, okay? You'll also need your books or your blanket for your head. Okay, so make that kind of a nice height here that you can rest your shoulder to the ground. So keep the bolster down and just feel like kind of the fleshy part of your skin as you allow your ribs to move over your pillow blanket. And then your head and neck comes down on whatever support you have, hand out to the side. Okay, you can have your knees bent, just soften one or the other. Again, just adjust that as much as you need to make sure you're comfortable. Okay, the top hand, if you feel it's enough to just have it resting by your side, that's fine. If you can stretch it over, just stretch it over and feel again the space that you can create for this lung. And then when you're ready, just draping the hand, let it be soft. And again, you could keep it here for a while and then if it gets too much, move it back down. But just see, can you, even for a few moments, bring that breath into that whole top side lung. And then feel, again, the organs in your body resting against the support that you're leaning on. And close the eyes and return back inside. And maybe as you settle here, you can draw your breath and actually visualize your breath coming all the way down to those lower outer parts of the lungs for your breath to move. Almost tipping the top of the rib cage. And then a long, deep exhalation to let all of that go. Breathing in. And breathing out. Allowing yourself to drift with the breath, massaging the organs, massaging the rib cage, expanding through the lungs. And again, just scanning your body to notice if you're tensing up maybe the arm that's on the ground, maybe your legs or your hips, and just make whatever adjustments you need to get this as comfortable as you possibly can. So really working here to expand that the lungs so we can draw as much of that oxygen-rich air into our bodies, that we can stretch them out and find as much space as possible for our breath. Noticing as your mind wanders off, and just bring it back to your physical body and your breath. Really giving yourself this time just to be here. Feel the support of what's underneath you. And then if your arm is still overhead, just gently bring it up and release it by your hip. Then release it to the earth and very slowly bring yourself up. Just take a moment to sit, and just as you sit, I'd like you to see if you can notice the two sides of your body, your two ribs, your two lungs. Notice maybe if there's a little bit more space on one side than the other. And then we're going to even that one out. So changing sides. Again, you might find you might need a different height on this side, so be aware of having to move or change your pillow. Once more, knees bent, bolster in by your ribs. Feel that kind of fleshy part of your side waist on the bolster as you lower yourself down and release the head onto the block. So again, more likely that you feel one side is very different to the other, and that's okay. Settle in, move around, adjust as much as possible. And then when you're ready, if it feels okay, you can release that top arm over your head. And imagine again you're drawing your breath all the way down into the lower part of that lung. Creating space for breath. So the average human being only uses about 1/5 of our lung capacity. 1/5 is nothing. So the more we can take control of our breath, the more oxygen we bring in to our bodies, the more healthy our body becomes. Again, remembering, make the adjustments and then get comfortable. And if anything is not comfortable, then bring it out, change it up. Top hand can rest on your hip. And you can even bring that hand in and just rest your head underneath your bottom hand. Where's your mind going? Can you keep it here? Then taking a breath as you bring that top hand down to the rib. Noticing your breath as you're gently using your arms softly to bring yourself once more back up. So our final pose, you're going to get your support and you're going to have that pillow for your head again. And what I'd like you to do is you're going to bring yourself down so that your throat, that little V shape on your throat, is kind of on the edge of that bolster. And then you have your pillow for your forehead. Hands are going to come either side, and you're basically going to rest your body on the support as you soften down. Elbows just on the ground, arms in a cactus pose. And just let your forehead rest on your support. And then just release yourself down. So now you're feeling that connection of the bolster against the front of your ribs. And you can feel at the back of the ribs, the sides and backs, the space being created for your breath. And as you settle here, allow yourself to remember the intention that you're placed on your practice. With each exhale, sink a little bit lower, a little bit softer into your support. Allowing yourself to feel and notice the juiciness of this practice. Mind wanders, bring it back to your breath. And at any stage, if it feels uncomfortable, then adjust it or move out. Allow the back body to open softly, expanding. Then gently bring your hands underneath your shoulder. Slowly lift yourself up. Move your bolster again to the bottom of the mat. And we're going to bring ourselves into Shavasana. So you can use your bolster or your prop for underneath your knees. And then again, if you want a pillow under your head, you can bring a pillow under your head. Or if not, lie on the ground and just pop a blanket over your body to make sure you're warm as we move into our Yoga Nidra practice. So again, take a few moments and get yourself as comfortable as you can for this. Allow yourself to adjust and move. Again, if you're feeling cold, make sure you're keeping yourself warm. Popping on socks or a jumper. And as soon as you get comfortable, just lying down, draw the shoulder blades together and soften so the palms face up. Relax through the soles of the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the hips, the thighs. Relax the torso, the shoulders, the arms. Let the head and neck relax. Face melting. Tongue resting in the mouth. So your entire body just dropping in. And in this moment, remembering your intention, your sankalpa, and just repeat it 3 times to yourself. Short, positive, present tense statement. And then when you're ready, allow yourself to soften, keeping your eyes closed. We begin our yoga nidra practice. So 3 times to yourself, just repeat, I will stay alert. I will stay alert. I will stay alert. Allowing yourself to settle so that you won't move during the practice. So we're going to move very quickly through different body parts, which will connect with different pathways in the brain and allow us to settle into a deeper level of subconsciousness, which is healing for your mind, your body, your stress levels, physiology. And wherever I ask you, or wherever I mention, whatever body part I mentioned, I ask you to just think of that part. And in doing so, you bring the prana there, that life force, that energy. So starting with the right hand thumb, the index finger on the right hand, the middle finger on the right hand, the ring finger on the right hand, the little finger on the right hand, the top of the right hand, the palm of the right hand, the wrist on the right arm, the right forearm, the right elbow, the upper right arm, the right shoulder blade, the right armpit, the right side waist, the right hip, the right sit bone, the right thigh, the right knee, the shin and the calf on the right leg, the right ankle, the heel of the right foot, the sole of the right foot, the top of the right foot, the right little toe, the ring toe, the middle right toe, fourth toe, the big right toe, the big right toe, the whole right foot, ankle, shin, calf, knee, thigh, the entire right leg, the entire right leg, the entire right side waist, the entire right arm, wrist and hand. Soften, release and let go. The left thumb, the left index finger, the middle finger on the left hand, the ring finger on the left hand, the little finger on the left hand, the top of the left hand, the palm of the left hand, the wrist on the left arm, the left forearm and the left elbow, the upper left arm, the left shoulder, the left armpit, the left side waist, the left hip, the left sit bone, the left thigh, the left knee, the shin and the calf on the left leg, the left ankle, the heel, the sole of the left foot and the top of the left foot, the left pinky toe, the second toe, the middle left toe, the fourth toe, the big left toe, the entire left foot and ankle, the entire left foot and ankle, the calf, the shin, the knee, the thigh on the left leg, the sit bones on the left, the entire left leg, the left side waist, the entire left arm, wrist and hand, the entire left arm, wrist and hand, the lower back, the lower ribs, the upper ribs, the shoulder blades, the entire back body, the pelvis, the belly, the front of the ribs, the collarbones, the entire torso, resting and letting go. The neck, the back of the head, the forehead, the skin around the face, the right ear, the left ear, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the right cheek, the left cheek, the skin above the lips, the skin below the lips, the jaw, the right eye, the left eye, the tip of the nose, the entire nose, the face, the head, the neck, the scalp, soft, surrendered and letting go. Awareness to the space between the eyebrows. Imagining as you look out from the space between the eyebrows to a giant screen in front of you. And as you look, you see before you a beautiful red rose. A beautiful oak tree. A sandy beach. Waves crashing on a rock. Sunrise over a mountain. Sunset over a still lake. Still deep water. A fish swimming in the water. An old tree beside a lake. A monk praying underneath the tree. A black horse racing through the meadow. A deep, dark woods. A deer running through the woods. A green meadow. Visualize your body lying on the ground. Allow yourself to see if you can feel the entire body sensing heat, warmth, and then imagining your entire body frozen, cold. Imagining you're in a room full of friends. And then imagining you're sitting alone. Imagining the sensation of pain in the body. And then allowing that sensation to move to pleasure. Physical pleasure. Imagine feeling deep frustration, anger. And then imagine feeling intense love, deep, deep love. Imagine feeling your body is light as a feather floating up to the sky. And then allow your body to feel heavy, rooted, grounding on the earth. Again, seeing yourself lying on the earth. Feel the sensation of your body here, now, lying on the earth. Three times repeating to yourself your sankalpa, your intention for the practice. And then gently release and let go of all thoughts, of all intention, and just stay with your breath. May you recognize in your life the presence, power, and light of your soul. May you realize that you are never alone, that your soul, in its brightness and belonging, connects you intimately with the rhythm of the universe. May you have respect for your own individuality and difference. May you realize that the shape of your soul is unique, that you have a special destiny here, that behind the facade of your life there is something beautiful, good, and eternal happening. May you learn to see yourself with the same delight, pride, and expectation with which the universe or God sees you in every moment. If you have time to linger, please stay here in Shavasana for as long as feels right for you. If you wish to move, then softly rolling to the right side and just lie here for a few moments in this fetal position. And as you lay here, just Really feel gratitude to yourself for this amazing body that you have, for this amazing mind that you have, for your will and intention. And then if you're joining me, come to sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. This time your palms are facing upwards in that gesture of giving and receiving. And then gently scanning yourself, noticing the changes in your body physically, in your mind, feeling your energy levels. Ask yourself again, how do I feel? And then wondering about that deep connection we have as we practice together. That deep connection with the universe, with nature, with Mother Earth. And bring your hands in prayer in front of your heart, remembering that intention one last time. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be parted from freedom's true joy. May all beings dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Bring your hands to the space between your eyebrows and bow forward, sealing in your practice. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you have a lovely evening.